set us up this time to speak. Are you still available?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So it sounded like you guys had gotten into the trial, had a quick conversation with him, really liked what you saw on base. And, my role here is really to follow up with you, see what other additional questions you have. It sounded like you guys were pretty ready to move on. And, I want to be here to be a resource, answer whatever questions you have, and get whatever over you need to make that decision.
Okay. I thought this was like you were going to do a demo and like just basically show me. It's just a matter of us getting acquainted.
We can set that up.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting acclimated with the system. Like I said, it was referred by somebody who's in our mastermind who's already using you guys, and they've gave you rave reviews on it. So, I just want to kind of get used to it and then actually present it to my partner, because we were thinking about something else right before we were told about you guys. So, I just want to see what's under the hood,
No, I completely understand. So you're in the trial right now, obviously. So
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen at least a little bit of it. So what exactly, else are you looking to see that maybe I can show you real quick?
Okay.
That would make this a home run, make you believe, okay, we're ready to roll with this. And then, how can I help you with your partner? Obviously, he's not on the call right now, so I can't show it to him as well. But what can I do to help with that as well?
If he's in a different location, but is there something that he could look into also? Do you have like a join me or something that he could get in also?
I do. If you want to have him join the call, I can do two things. I can send you an email with a link to the join me in a conference line that we can all get in on, and we can just do that together.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, so give me a second. I'm gonna have to hang up with you, but your email is
Or I could just call him and add us in right now if that's easier.
Yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll still have to email you at least the link.
Okay,
So
no
you can
problem.
forward it on to him. So let me do that, and I'll wait for you to get that going.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what was your name again?
It's Nick.
Nick. Okay. All right. Hold on, Nick.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Please leave your message for AJ Jones.
Hey, Al. It's me. I actually have Nick from Base that I was telling you about. I'm just going to go forward with him on this conversation, let him show me around, and we'll compare notes later. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Nick. Nick, are you there? Yeah.
I'm still there.
Yeah, he wasn't around, so you and I can just take this, and I'll compare notes with him.
Okay. Just give me a second here.
Okay.
Did you get my email at least?
Let me take a look now. Yes, I have your email.
Okay. So that's it. you should have to do is just click in on there. It should ask you to just put your name in, and then you should be able to join in.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes on these they ask you to put a PIN number in there. You can just do it with the name too, huh?
Yeah, no, that's if they're like private. It's just open. Obviously, I already sent you my PIN number, so that link is pretty much acts as my PIN number. That's giving you access to my thing. So,
oh, okay.
But yeah, so can you see my screen on your end?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So basically, I don't usually.
The recording has reached the maximum length. To replay your message, press 1. To delete and re-record your message, press 3.
Oh, that was the phone with him. Hey, this is the thing. Like, whenever I have it on my this is my cell phone. I don't know how to go take one person off. It always hangs up on us. So hopefully the recording will just go off. Okay.
To send this message now, press message canceled. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? Who's in on our call?
Yeah, there should be. I don't know if you're using Apple or Android or what. There should just be a button that says end call with one of them. I use Android, so I don't know about if it's the same way with iPhone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're good.
So either way, now that we got testing, basically, typically, I don't really do go through demos right this early in the process, but it sounded like you guys were pretty much sold, ready to go off that recommendation.
Oh, absolutely.
And just kind of wanted to look at it and get familiar. So happy to do that if we're already that far along in the decision process, and it's just showing you a few things that are key for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm happy to do that. So I want to make this about your time. We're in the platform right now. I can show you a few great features that are pretty common for most people, but I really want to make this about you and have you kind of guide me through what's important to you in a CRM, and then I'll just go through and show you exactly how that works and here and what that looks like.
Okay.
I think that makes it more productive if I'm hitting your points more effectively rather than just going through the whole thing.
Absolutely, no problem.
So right now we're on the home screen. We're looking at the dashboard. This is where you're able to just kind of get an overview of everything that's going on in your system. We've got your revenue goals as a team, the amount of deals that are in your pipeline, the total value of those deals, and the forecasted values. You can see each individual person's amount of deals that they have and their individual values, all pretty high level stuff, as you would expect the dashboard to be. Some activity on your deals, and then over here we've got some tasks and appointments that are upcoming, and in the middle here a running activity feed, meaning everything that happens in Base runs through this feed, whether it's a call made, an email sent, a note added, a deal created, basically anything you can think of, it'll come in through. So this is something where you can just log in, quickly scroll through and see, all right, what's been going on today, what's going on with the team, what's in the pipeline, just pretty high level. Navigating through Base, we want to make it as easy as possible. So, these links or these icons up at the top are how you navigate. So we've got our leads here is the next one over to the right. Then our contacts, we separate leads from contacts for a couple of reasons. Obviously, leads, you don't really even know if they're going to be somebody interested in your business or if they're even a qualified opportunity. So they're obviously not customers yet. So we separate them from actual contacts. Contacts are more reserved for current customers and people who are actually you're actually in the evaluation process with them. So, for example, you spoke with Paul, right? You came into our system as a lead. As soon as you're like, hey, we got a recommendation, we're really looking, we just want to speak with an account executive, maybe see a demo, stuff like that. That's when, we would convert you into a contact, and now you're actually an opportunity and deal in our system.
Okay.
So this should shed some light as to, how it works for us. Obviously, for every business, it's a little different. So we've got contacts, we've got our actual sales pipeline, which is where you can customize define your pipeline stages, and these are where you're going to put your actual deal opportunities into. You'll be able to create them through the lead process, all the way from the lead process, or just create them individually from here, put a value to them, fill out information on them, and then obviously set up a custom set of stages that are specific for you, so you can monitor what next steps are. We've got a calendar function, a space for your tasks, a communication center, and then all of our reporting functions. So just for example, what I'll do real quick is create a new lead and just take you through that process. So
Okay.
I'll just make myself a lead.
Okay.
And we'll call it base. We won't have to get too technical here. So we'll save them. Now we've created a new lead. It's me, right? So we've got some basic information. Anytime we want to fill out more information, we've got these fields here for entry. We can create new custom fields, and I'll show you in a minute how easy that is to customize and add new ones in. But basically, we wanted to just take the time to show you, all the features. So adding a note, pretty simple. We want to add a note on this lead card. We just type it in and save. If I want to send them an email, you're going to sync it. One of the first things you're going to do during setup process is sync up your email. And it's a two-way sync. I don't know if you use Gmail, Outlook. What are you guys using today for emailing?
We use Gmail as one of them. Yeah.
Okay. So Gmail is extremely simple. It's just hooking up your Google account, and it's a two-way sync between your email. So we're going to send an email out to somebody. Hey, Nick.
Now, if we weren't using our Gmail, we just wanted to use our regular domain, that's accessible also, right?
Yeah, you just pick the email address that you want to sync up with Base, and that way when you send out emails and get replies, it automatically attaches to leads or contacts within the CRM system. Whether
Okay.
you send it from outside of Base or within Base, it'll still capture it because it'll recognize, okay, Nick's email is this, right? When it recognizes that you're getting a reply or you're sending out, it'll automatically capture the content of that email and plug it in here to that lead card. The only cool thing about sending it from Base directly is that you can actually see if they've viewed the email, if they've clicked on any links in the email. So we have a built-in tracking software if you send it from our CRM directly. But if you send it from your phone or from your, just your Gmail account or your normal domain, it would capture the email content anyway. It's smart enough to read that. You just have to make sure you sync it up. So as you can see here, we can see that the eyeball has 0 views, meaning that nobody's looked at it yet, but we can see the content of the email. If I get a reply, it'll come in right here as well in an email, and it'll start an email chain. We can create and save templates as well and use things like merge tags for mass emailing. So those are great useful tools if you're sending out like a marketing blast or something like that. The other things that we can do are we can actually make text and calls right from the system. So I can send a text message just by typing in, as long as this is a cell phone, I can send a text message right to that person. And then I can also make a phone call. So I click here, call via the browser, and now this is my cell phone number. I'm actually just making a cell phone call a call right to my cell phone. Answer, and it's actually recording and logging the call automatically. So I hang up here, and this pop-up window comes up. I can select from a few custom outcomes. Let's just say they didn't answer, and now I save. Now that call has been logged and recorded, so you can go back and listen to it, and you can see the outcome of the call in the reports that we have on the back end.
Okay. Cool.
So again, other things that we can do here on the lead card is schedule appointments. So Gmail, I'm sure you guys have you might have a Google Calendar set up as well, or some sort of calendar that you guys use internally.
Right.
You can sync up that calendar to Base as well. So we can actually schedule meetings right from the CRM. So I'm going to schedule meetings. I can invite attendees right from here, set a start date, end date alert, and actually save it. And now I've scheduled the meeting. And if you have your calendar synced from Google, it'll actually reflect on your calendar as well, so that you can schedule it right through the CRM. You don't have to go back and forth between different platforms. Tasks as well, right? So everyone's always looking for reminders to do things. For your reps, you probably, they want reminders on follow-ups, on when to call someone, when to send something over that they promised. Here's how we're going to be able to remind them. So send a follow-up email, for example. I need to do that Monday at 10 a.m., and I can even assign this task to somebody else on my team. So you as a manager could actually go in and assign tasks to people on your team as well. Or I can assign it for myself, add myself a reminder. They'll be alerted on their cell phone, in their email inbox, and in Base directly. As long as they have the mobile app on their phone, which is free as well, it comes included with Base, you'll be able to get updates on your phone too, live in time, which is going to be great. So save that, and now it'll send me that reminder. I've got a meeting scheduled. Let's just say now they've become a qualified opportunity. We want to put them into our actual pipeline and start because they're interested in our business, right? So we're going to convert them, and now they've been converted from a lead into a contact. And at this point, we've created a deal for them as well. Everything that we've done with it is transferred over. All the calls we made, all the emails we sent, the notes that we took, as you can see, it's still all here. And we've created a deal for them, and we'll be able to edit that. So we'll be able to edit information on the deal, change the stage that deal is in, whether it's still in the active stages, or we won the deal or lost the deal, and then edit value of the potential or earnings that we stand to make on there. So basically, pretty straightforward in the way that we do it. We want to make it pretty simple and easy to navigate and easy to convert things so that it's less complicated for the reps. The other thing I wanted to show was how easy it is to customize. So we're going to go into our settings here, and as I showed you in the edit section, right, you can fill out some information. But you probably have fields of entry that you need specific for your business. So you're going to go into the customize section, and you're going to go under leads, and then go to custom fields and add a field. And then you'll just be able to type in, whatever it is. So give me an example of a field that you guys would probably use, right? A piece of information that you guys need to track on your leads or your customers.
Just maybe commitment level.
I think that would be more reserved for the lead status, but
okay.
Yeah, we can do that for example. So we have actually I'll go back just so you can see this. We have actually status reports on our leads. So right here these are just default. You can customize these. We've got new and unqualified. New being it's not been touched yet. Unqualified being like it's no good. They're not interested or it's just not a good fit. You can add more of these in, so you can make statuses for like hot leads, cold leads, and you can label them whatever you want.
Oh.
I'm thinking fields more along the lines of like you see here when we go into it. I'm thinking fields more along the lines of like pieces of information. So as you can see here, we've got stuff like address, their name, their email, their phone number, the company they work for, their title, stuff like that. We might want to add one in, such as industry type or
right.
There's a million different things. We've already got industry in there, so we'll just put example, just for the sake of that, and we'll make it a drop down, and we'll put in a couple choices and make it filterable, and then we've just created a brand new custom field. And same goes for that pipeline. Remember I showed you that you have all those stages. We can go in here and edit the names of those stages, delete some if we want, add some more if we need to, things like that. So we can make this pipeline completely customized for your business. But going back into the leads, you'll see that example edit has been added in there. So now that field has been added in forever. So now we just have to go in and fill it out each time we create a new lead or when a lead comes into our system. So I'm going to kind of pause there. I know that covered quite a bit of ground pretty quickly. And just see if you have any questions or see if there's anything that you were confused on or that we missed or that you wanted to see that maybe I didn't show right there.
Okay. This is similar to, I know we've used like High-Rise in the past. It's kind of simple. It's more advanced than that. But I think what the home runs for me when I heard about you guys was number one, the dialer. What else here? Just wanting to understand the pricing tiers between, as we scale up with employees. The pipeline, you mentioned putting a value in the pipeline somewhere, and I'm guessing that's what we think that estimated sales from the person, what they've committed to, how much services we think we could sell them. Is that what you mean by value in the pipeline?
Correct. So here's a deal, and here's deal value, and you'll be able to edit that number. So let's say that we're going to bring in $1,000 from this transaction with this person. So we'll put the deal value at $1,000, and that way in the pipeline right here. So this is our pipeline, right? We've got certain stages. This is a brand new incoming deal, and you may have certain steps in that process, such as sent out estimated quote, negotiation phase, whatever that may be. Everyone's got their own. For example, for us, it's incoming. We've got like a more of a discovery phase, a demonstration phase, and then negotiation, and then closed in one. So each time we get to the next step of the sales process, we're pushing that through to the next level so that we know what step we're in.
Right.
This also shows you, okay, so in the initial incoming stage, we've got 41 deals worth over $2 million in our pipeline of potential revenue to come in.
Right.
That's why that number being plugged in is important, so you know how much money you guys have sitting on the table that are potential deals that could be closed. And that number can be edited, that number can be changed while you're going through, but basically, it's what you stand to bring in as revenue.
Right. And once it's closed, that's automatically subtracted from the estimated income?
Exactly, and it's also going to show on your total sales report. So when I go into here, if I move this to 1, now when I go into a report such as total sales, it's going to reflect on that. It's going to reflect on that what we've actually sold in a certain month.
Oh, wow. This is great. Yeah.
Apply this. Let's go to July. There we go. So now it's going to reflect here, what we've sold, and this is by rep. So what we're looking at here, and we can look at this in the graph form, or we can look at this way. It's going to show you each salesperson and how much revenue they've brought in the months of July and August. We just use that for example. We also can do it by source. So from which marketing channel did they come from? Did they come from a website, newspaper? You'll be able to put in your own sources.
Right.
You can see total sales by customer as well. So which customers, or if you guys do a lot of repeat business, this is great. If it's more, one-time transactional type of sales, then you'll just have a lot more customers in here. And this is how we break down the total sales amount by, owner, by customer, by source, by team, all that fun stuff. And we can look at it in the graph form like this. This is better for more like presentations. And then we can look at it from this form as well. And from here is where we can export this. So if you need to send a report over to somebody who doesn't have access to the system, you can export this list and it'll show you, here's all the salespeople we have on our team, here's what they've sold, here's all the deals that they sold to get to that number. So Eddie Lee sold $290,000 in that 2-month span, and here are the deals that Eddie Lee sold on to get to that number, and it's going to break that down individually. And when I click in on each one of these, it's going to take me right to that deal, so I can recap there and see. Okay, we obviously won this. Here's more information. Do I need to follow up with them? Stuff like that. So the reporting is all intuitive based on what you plug in on the front end, and that's a big part of why we're so great. Is we're rather than developing the reports, as long as the data is entered properly in the front end when you're making these deals, all these reports are going to show the right numbers on the back end.
Okay, that's cool.
What other types of reports are big for you guys? We've got conversion rate reports showing you how many leads are being converted into sales right here with our funnel report. We've got a forecasting report. We've got sales goals reports, which will show you, here's all my reps, here's what their goal is to close in a month, and here's where they're at for the month so far. Obviously, everyone looks like it in this this demo account here, but it's probably not the way that it's going to be in real life all the time. But it gives your reps and yourself a good sense of goals and where you're at in a month, so that they stay on track. And that's something that was reflected on the dashboard, as you saw in the front, is you can just kind of quickly log in and see, okay, are we on pace to hit our goal? Or you can look in here on the full report and see each individual person's goals and where they're at in the pipeline. And every time they win a deal, this will update and the bar will move for them.
Oh, wow. Okay. And this is mobile friendly, right?
Exactly. So I actually got my iPad in here. I'm going to hook up in a second to show you what that looks like. But before doing that, I want to show you the activity report as well. So everyone's trying to keep track of what kind of hustle, what kind of productivity are my reps producing. So here's a great way to see that is we're going to show you the amount of calls that they're making in a day or a week, the amount of emails they're sending, the amount of appointments they're creating, all that fun stuff. So you can stay on top of them and make sure if you have an expectation for what they're supposed to be doing, that they're meeting that expectation, and you have a track record and an actual proof of concept there on that. So rather than getting together for a meeting every week saying, okay, how many calls did you make this week? You can just see that right in the system. You don't even have to go it saves you the effort of having to see, okay, are they telling me the truth? Are they really hitting the numbers that they told me they were? You can see it right, like you can't hide anything.
And
it also incorporates competitiveness, right?
Yeah.
You can start put in spiffs, which are little mini competitions, like, hey, whoever makes the most calls this week gets a gift card. And they can monitor their team, see who's ahead of who. Same thing with sales. It always generates competitiveness always generates more productivity when they're competing against each other. It's a great way to motivate them, and that's another way, because you don't want it always to be out of fear, right? Like make 50 calls or else you're fired. It's more fun to
right.
make it more of a positive thing, so you can spin it off in two different ways, right? So these are things that we can track here. We can track the amount of calls they're making, and you can even track the outcomes of the calls they're making. So Francis made 7 calls, but what were those calls pertaining to? So 4 out of the 7 were interested, so that's a good day. So half his calls actually converted into interested prospects. 2 of them were no answer, and 1 of them wasn't interested. So rather than just looking at, you made 100 calls, out of those 100 calls, how many of those were actually productive calls and actually meant something, rather than just no answers or left a voicemail? How many of those actually turned into relevant conversations? And you can track that stuff. So before I go and grab my iPad, in the desktop version, on the reports, any questions, anything that you want to see particularly that I didn't go over already?
Now, as far as like for some sales guys we had in right now, they could be in different locations because this is cloud-based, obviously, right?
Of course.
So everybody would have their username and password, all that stuff right there. Does this integrate? What does it integrate with? As far as, we do have another phone system. We use RingCentral. Are there any other integrations with phone lines, or should it just be done? Is it just done through here?
So then we're talking about professional services work. It's more trouble than it's worth, and that's why we built the dialer in already, is so you don't have to go through the hassle of integration.
Okay.
It's already built in for you. To integrate a different phone line would require professional services work, meaning you'd have to hire someone, probably pay them $15,000 to do the bridge, and then it would work. But that's why we just built it all. We encompassed the email integration, phone integration right off the bat, so you don't have to go through that whole hassle. It's just built in for you. So you probably be best bet, just using the base voice dialer. It's not like a monthly charge. You only pay for the minutes that you use, and then you're not paying for any sort of integration. It's just included and built in already for you right out of the box.
Okay, that's great. And speaking of minutes, what is the price per minute?
It comes out to be about just under $1 for an hour of talk time. So it's like fractions of a penny per minute. And so I always just say I have to look at their website to get the exact number, but for an hour of talk time, it's like 90-something cents.
Oh, okay. Now, as far as...
It's a pay as you go, not like a phone plan, so there's no like overage charges.
Right.
You only pay for the minute you want to use.
Right. Now, as far as those emails that you say we can send out, is there a cap on what we can send out per email, per hour, per day?
It's dependent on the So it's not us that limits you. If you guys are using Gmail, Gmail typically caps out at 300 per person per day.
Right.
So if Gmail's capping you there, then we're not going to be able to help overload that cap. So if that's where you're at, then it's probably going to be 300 per user per day, which is quite a lot depending on, how many emails you plan on sending out.
Right.
But that's probably where it's going to sit at. Sometimes if people have like a Gmail business class or like a different type, they can get up into the thousands, but typically Gmail caps you out at 300.
What would
It's per user per day.
Okay. What would allow us to get into like the 1,000 range? What other service does that?
You could use MailChimp. They have a free version of MailChimp that we integrate with.
Oh, okay.
And with them, you can send out, gigantic email blasts.
Yeah, I used to use that.
Do you guys plan on sending out like 1,000 email blasts or like large numbers like that?
Not right now. I'm thinking down the line. Yeah.
MailChimp could do that, and they actually have they have a free version, and we plug in with MailChimp out of the box. So a lot of people use them for sending out like large email blasts to customers and stuff if they need to go in the thousands. But
Right.
typically 300 emails is quite a bit for an entire day.
Yeah.
And not many people tend to go over that one.
Yeah.
Especially because it's per user, right?
Right. Absolutely. And leads versus contact. Don't know about it. Okay, got that one. As far as leads and importing leads, basically, okay, we're buying our leads from wherever. Do you guys offer any type of lead service also? Or is it just purely on this CRM system that you have?
Yeah, we don't provide any leads. Obviously, there's a million lead providers out there, but
Right.
we don't actually supply the leads.
Right, okay.
As far as importing them, you can bulk import them if you do purchase them.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't provide that service. I mean, there's a million companies out there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have that. We actually use a couple ourselves for getting like outbound leads too. So yeah, we just help you manage them.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool because I mean that and also I mean if you could tell me like who do you guys use? I mean we've been using like Sales Genie and a couple other places as well. But I mean the more the merrier. And as long as I know that, I mean obviously we have that capability to come in and start working those leads. That's most important to me. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's where so it's easy to import the leads once you get them from those providers, but we just don't provide the leads. Like,
Okay,
we're
yeah.
just helping you manage them.
Yeah, I mean I really didn't expect that. Like as far as those grade A lead companies, who do you guys use?
We use Lead Genius. That's our go-to for now.
And
that's the one that we get most of ours from.
And you find that they're really good quality leads?
You know what? I don't get them. I'm more on like the closing end, right? But
Okay.
but from what I know, I mean, obviously we've been using them for some time now.
So they must be good. They must be good if
Yeah.
you're still using them. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're typically pretty good. I mean, from what I know, basically we identify what type of industry we want to go after, what type of contacts we want. We give them, the parameters of what we're looking for, and they typically get back with pretty good information on them.
Okay. Well, Nick, I understand what we're working with. I see the value of it. Once again, I know that my partner was actually, he wanted to go to something else, so I will go over this with him. We are in the trial right now, just gonna compare a little bit of notes. But I mean, I'm probably more on this side here. Yeah.
Okay.
I like what you have here. Once again, the high recommendation from our group. So, we'll discuss this and we just play around with it for a couple of days on this trial here. And I mean, honestly, like it has my vote. Has my vote.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up quick the mobile just so you can see what that looks like as well, so you
Okay.
can tell your partner how awesome that is.
Okay.
Just give me 1 sec. Let me know when that's.
And even off of my trial, we can even do that on our own phones and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So same thing. Go to the. You said you use iPhone.
Yeah.
Okay. So just go to the iTunes store and look for for the base CRM mobile app. It's free. Just use the same login that you use on the trial to log into that, so that they're connected.
Okay. Cool.
So this is the mobile on an iPad. It looks the same on a phone. I just used the iPad for the demos. Looks exactly the same, just smaller. Basically, we can do everything we can do from the desktop, right? So we've got our dashboard, like all the icons are exactly the same. We can do our entire sales process from our mobile. So I can click in on a lead. I can set tasks by hitting this plus button. I like to use the voice. Send email reminder. Set tasks. I can add notes right from my mobile device. Call went very well. It's awesome. I mean, our mobile, we developed our mobile device first about 10 years ago. We started as a mobile first solution and then built it out from mobile up. So it gives us the flexibility to literally do everything from our mobile the same we can do from a desktop. So, it doesn't, I don't know if you guys do a ton of outside sales. It sounds like you guys are a little bit more on the inside, but you want a mobile as well.
Right.
We have people who, they're always out in the field and they can literally purchase base and never log onto a computer, just use the mobile and still get the full functionality out of it, which is why, from a mobile standpoint, we are hands above like everybody else on the market. From a mobile standpoint, there's still, obviously, certain niche companies and stuff that obviously we excel at certain things as far as sales, but then there's other CRMs that specifically do things better on like marketing or accounting, stuff like that. That's not our space. But for mobile, there's really nobody else in the CRM space that can do what we can do as far as functionality. And I'm not just, tooting my own horn. If you go and look up our reviews on that, on the iTunes store, you'll see for yourself we're ranked number 1 for mobile CRM.
Okay. And it just hit me right now. What about invoices? Can we get paid from here? Can we send out invoices, or is that we have to go somewhere else for that?
Invoices, we integrate with, I don't know if you've heard of PandaDoc or Quote Roller. We can integrate with PandaDoc or Quote Roller to where basically we would push, it would be a click of a button and it would push all the information from a deal into like a template that you've created through them, but we don't have that built in natively, no.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Right now we're using what is it for the mobile, and we our thing is now that we are scaling. A part of the scaling process is to start bringing outside salespeople. Get outside sales out there. So I do appreciate the mobile aspect of it. What is that? Something to invoice. I can't think of the name of the place that we use right now, but just. So I'll definitely take a look at this. You said PandaDoc?
PandaDoc. And a lot of times, honestly, like if you're using something that you're familiar with, a lot of times, I mean, you're going to create a template anyway. So a lot of times, if the person who's creating these invoices has access to Base, you just type up you have all the information in front of you. It's just typing it up and sending it out. A lot of times it's super easy to do that. You're saving yourself a couple extra steps by purchasing a different invoicing tool, but then you're asking to switch off of what you guys are used to. So if you're comfortable with that and you're already paying for something else, but you're okay with moving to something else, PandaDoc's a great second option.
Okay.
I can get you in touch with one of their reps over there when you need to do that, and they can do a demo for you of their software as well.
Okay.
But we have a couple guys that we work with on a regular basis over there too.
Okay. All right. Well, Nick, I appreciate your time and presentation. Showing me this, you did a great job. Like I said, this is definitely something that I am leaning towards, and after the weekend we get back, I just want to play around with it, get comfortable with it. But like I said, this definitely has my vote.
Okay, so that's great, and I think judging by what you said to Paul and everything and recommendation, I agree. It looks like a great fit. It looks like it's going to be able to help you guys a lot. And we've got a lot of great great features. We've got a great support team to back us as well. And I guess the next question is, it sounds like you got to get with your partner, as you said. When do you think we can follow up? week would be good to get back in touch after you've had the weekend?
Let's just give it like a week or so. Let's give it at least a week. All right. Because, I mean, I'm the type of person, I'm like, I'm very analytical and I want to get in and make sure, I mean, it seems pretty simple and kind of reminds me a little bit in a certain way with, like the high rise and some other things that we've used. I just want to get in and play around with it and master it. I'm actually not even going to be around for the weekend myself, but I want to, when I get back in, got to get away from work, right? So.
Gotcha. No, yeah, I completely understand.
Yeah, so when I come back, I mean, but I like it, man. Seriously, I like it. Yeah, I like it.
All right, awesome.
Yeah,
So why don't I give you a ring at the end of next week then?
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, and if you have any questions, you know what? I'll look in on your trial regardless, just to see, if you guys have any questions as well, and if you need anything from me, I'm going to shoot you over an email with a couple things that I know will be helpful for you after our call right now. But if between then, if you have questions, obviously feel free to reach out. But I'm gonna reach out to you Thursday or Friday of next week if that's okay. And in the interim, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions. But I'm gonna send you a few things via email that'll help you really get the most out of the trial in the time being before we speak next.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Cecil, appreciate your time. Have a great weekend, and I will speak to you about a week from now.
All right, you do the same. Look forward to talking to you.
Take care.
Yeah, bye.